Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is an Eight of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups looks like a dark card. We're going to put this into some context, okay? It looks like a dark card. It looks like our hope and our water energy is draining from these cups. Yeah, it looks like we have a glass half empty. But we're going to put that into some context because I feel like this is one of those situations, you know, the ancient Greeks used to say that they were optimists, right? Because things couldn't get any worse. They have to get better from here, right? So I wonder if we're feeling a little bit stuck and we're feeling like I'm not going to get discouraged by this. Things may be a little bit stuck right now. Look, we got the Sun. We've got the Four of Wands. We got the Hanged Man. I feel like the Hanged Man is the one that's becoming unstuck from this quicksand here, refusing to kind of let any of this stuff cling to them. This is kind of the feeling like I'm not going to let myself get stuck in this situation. I'm not going to let myself feel that my glass is half empty. If I have to keep refilling it and refilling it and refilling it, that's what I'm going to do. We're really being strong. We're keeping the faith. We're holding the candle, right, in this one. And we're not letting this situation bring us down. Now, it could be that there was a loss of a loved one recently in your life, last 4 months or something. I'm kind of getting an energy that is still with you in spirit, in energy, but not in the physical. Okay? Maybe that they were a Sagittarius person. I feel maybe that it was a younger person than you. I don't know if it was, and this, I feel this is still kind of fresh for some of you, okay? And I feel it is a younger energy. But I feel like they are still with you, and they are, they're in a good place, right? I feel that they have this kind of, well, we're looking at this Sun card up here. I feel like they still have this vibrance, right? They still have this this kind of youthful glow. It's almost like you remember them that way, you know. And that is makes you smile more than cry, I think, right? Because they were and still are such an inspiration, okay? If you did lose somebody, you have my condolences, okay? You really, really do. I'm sorry for your loss. Let's select the mystery card before we get too deep into this. We did have a bonus reading for you yesterday. I don't know if you watched that. If you did not, watch the reading from yesterday as well, and see how that might tie in with this reading, both of them together. Okay, so the mystery card's over here. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. We got Mr. Bates, aka Kevin, right there on top. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right. Let's look around the room again. We see a lot of good stuff, right? We see a lot of good stuff. Major, 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 major. We've got some fire. We've got this water energy, which I really think we're trying to just like kind of just get away from, right? We've got a little bit of air. The two air cards we have are really, really nice. They're beautiful. They are the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So it's like there is this clarity. There is this certainty. There is this kind of enlightenment that's coming from in your life right now. And I think, maybe in yesterday's bonus reading, did we have the Ace of Swords? What we also had is the Star, your power card, right? Your power card. And it's in a weird position in this reading today. Yesterday, I think it was down here beneath the surface. Today, it's in that position of the kind of the difficulty, the obstacle. And so I think at least now it's moved, right? Now it's not something that is within us that we need to bring forth. Now it's something that's out there that we've brought out of ourselves, and now we just need to kind of claim it and activate it and keep going with it. So it's almost like the Star here is to say the most difficult part for you right now is to keep going, keep doing what you're doing. If we slow down, if we kind of get out of harmony with our Star, that's when the quicksand gets us, right? And to me, it's not necessarily that we're running from anything. It's not that we're avoiding how we're feeling or avoiding the emotion of the situation, the thing that happened, whatever it is. I hope it wasn't the loss of a loved one. I feel almost like it could be. I think the loss of the younger energy feels like. It could even be like the loss of a creative project, or the loss of, maybe the loss of a job, or the loss of something like that. But I feel like there's a separation of something, okay? And well, we don't have any earth energy. So the one thing that we need to really remember is the Four of Wands, because this is the closest thing we have to earth, right? It's the fire energy that is manifested in the realm of the four, which at least is a stable earthly kind of number, right? So I think that it's significant here because it's saying that we have to kind of accept the way things have already manifested. The fire is already manifested on earth. That act of creation has already happened. Okay? So it's kind of this idea that we can't change what has already occurred. I watched a movie last couple of weeks. It took us a couple weeks to get through it. Actually, it was a show, not a movie. A limited series called Bodies on Netflix. My wife and I. And we don't watch much TV, so when we find a show that we watch, it takes us. There's only 8 episodes. It took us like almost a month to finish it, but it was all this time travel stuff and like going back to like prevent something from happening in the past, and it's just that kind of stuff. I love the time travel stuff. It confuses me most of the time, but I love it. With the Four of Wands, I kind of feel like that. I feel like that's already something that's been completed. It's already a cycle. It's already an event. It's already an act of creation that has taken place. There's no reversing this. This isn't a wheel that can go backwards. Yeah. So we have to accept it, and part of that acceptance is like understanding that we can't change it, and kind of understanding that we don't want the wheel to stop either. This wheel stops and it gets stuck right here in this mud, in this quicksand. There's a lot of mud right here. And I don't know why exactly you're feeling all of this mud, but I think you also have this understanding that things need to move on. If you did lose a loved one, they want you to move on. They are kind of like this sun that's up at the top of the path of the dove here, shining the light down on this. And that is the source of all light and life and love. And look, this is connecting with you. This is the sun outside of you that's connecting with the sun inside of you, the power center, the solar nature, the creativity, the will, the ambition, the consciousness. And that's traveling all the way down to the root, the core of you. And I think that this is heating up some of this energy. I was going to say it's kind of drying out the mud, right? It's kind of like, it's helping you to get out of this situation. It's allowing us to have the energy and the activity and the will to keep that wheel going, right? To keep kind of traveling forward and making progress here. So I think that there may have been a loss, and I don't want to focus on that. And I think that this card is back here, the Four of Wands is back in this position to say, look, we're not trying to forget about what happened or forget about this person. And Spirit's also showing me a bunch of cats. Did they have a lot of cats? Or maybe a few, or they had some kind of favorite animal, or they liked a lot of animals around them, something like that. The idea is not to forget what happened, not to leave that behind, not to move on without this, but move on with this, right? This is the wheel that's going to keep moving forward. So we're not cutting our connection with the past. We're just learning that we have to move forward from this watery experience. And part of that with the Hanged Man, and I wonder if this person, something with the head. I don't know if it was a fall or something that happened in the head, but I feel for those of you that are, that the message is meant for, I think there was something going on in the head or the brain that led to their passing. Okay, but I feel like they are, I feel right now they still have this strength and this vibrance about. I really feel like they are this radiating sun, that is warm, and it's just a source of light and love and power. And this is how they are connecting with you right now. Okay, and this is a way I think of letting you know that they're okay, but also letting you know that they want you to keep moving forward. They want you to keep progressing in life. And I think that the 9 of Wands that we see right here in the middle, this is strength. And it does take a lot of strength to move your entire being out of this water here. This is like the quicksand, and then it's like it keeps raining on the quicksand. So it's almost like a doubling of the difficulty here. But you've got this 9 of Wands. You've got this strength. And I think the Hanged Man here is, to me the Hanged Man is like this idea that we don't have to be, I know I'm all over the place today. I'm not sure if we had the Hanged Man in your bonus reading yesterday. If we did, then this is really an eerie kind of reading. But the Hanged Man to me is this idea that we have to do this inner portion of the work. That we have to kind of, we have to connect with our energy. We have to connect with this solar energy. We have to honor our grief, right? We have to feel how we feel. And not all of you are going to resonate with the passing of a loved one, right? And I hope nobody really is resonating with that part of it. But I feel like this is the separation of something. There's something that has happened, and it's over and done with, and it's time to go forward from that. Okay, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job you're leaving behind, maybe you're moving from your what you thought was your forever home, or a place that you're very attached to. Maybe you're moving on from that, right? Something along those lines. Okay, take it how it resonates. It's an emotional situation, and it takes as long as it takes for us to be ready to say, okay, I'm putting the car in gear now, and I'm moving forward. Okay, the Hanged Man though is the energy again that kind of accepts what is going on, doesn't try to force anything, doesn't say I have to just force myself to keep moving forward, and so there's a little bit of this kind of conflict, right? Because we feel with the 4 of Wands, with the 9 of Wands, with this solar energy at the top, we feel as if we have to keep the wheel turning. We have to keep moving. But then the Hanged Man is here and says, I'm not ready yet. I'm not dressed. I'm not facing the right way. I'm not in the car yet. I'm not doing it. And so this is something that we have to kind of deal with. When is it time for us to just say, yes, I'm doing it? See, now the Hanged Man, we reverse it this way. Now the Hanged Man is out of bed. Now the Hanged Man is ready to get dressed and is ready to get going. I still feel like, and I think I said this yesterday, there's a strong connection with water with you. I don't know if it's a waterfall, if it's a lake, or if it's some kind of a lagoon, or I feel almost one of those, when you're just kind of walking through the forest or the jungle or something and you just see that hidden lake, it's kind of maybe more of a pond, I guess. It's like a hidden kind of paradise, right? I'm feeling that connection with you, and I don't know if that is something related to the home environment or or if there's some memory with that, but Spirit's showing me one of those kind of hidden ponds that's really great. Maybe there's a waterfall there, great for swimming, But anyway, the Hanged Man is kind of just wants to stay in that place, right? Just wants to stay, isn't ready to come out yet, right? Isn't ready to come out yet. When I was a kid, I had a recurring dream. I don't even know how old I was, 7, 8, 9 probably. And I was at the top of a mountain at night, right? And there was a lake. And I remember I jumped in with all my clothes on and started swimming around. And there was a mother-type figure on the shore, right, on the land there. And I was saying, hey, I don't know how to get out of here. I don't know how to get out of the water. And I was told to dive down as far as I could. And that's how you get out. And so I did that. So I dived all the way in, all the way down in the darkness, in the black, in the cold. There's no air, there's no relief, all the way down. It seems counterintuitive, right? And then before I knew it, I kind of popped out on the other side. And I think I'm still here. But that I would get that dream over and over and over again. And I really, really connect. When I first saw the tarot card with the Hanged Man, especially in the Thoth deck, I really, really connected with it. And I really felt like this is kind of that, it's that dream, right? It's that kind of going down as far as we can, doing what we need to do, immersing ourselves in something until we just kind of emerge in this new reality. We go all the way through the bottom of it, and we just kind of come out the other way. And I feel like that's a moment it's going to happen for you, and I think that's really going to allow us to continue this momentum that we've been building up. Okay, to continue on with this journey. I wonder if you've been on a particular path in life, something happened, and we got stuck for a minute, right? We got stuck in the mud. It started to rain, the mud, our tire, we're stuck. And now it's kind of like, well, how do you don't lift the car out. You kind of got to push it down in there even further, right? Kind of Hanged Man style. And then give it some gas, and we can get out of this mud here. So I wonder if you had this particular momentum that got interrupted. Yeah, it got interrupted. We're going to go to the path of the serpent now, and as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Okay, I love and support all of you. I really do. Okay, so as yesterday, I think as well, we have this Ace of Swords. This is enlightenment. This is you with this certainty. And it really looks like it should be part of this Hanged Man card, right? These two really seem like they are, they're connected, right? And I think it is, because I think that it is through the immersion in this feeling, in this subconscious, unconscious, into this water energy, if it is just kind of sacrificing ourselves to it, accepting it as it is, allowing it to do the work that it is meant to do, we then find the way out. We find the triumph. We find the clarity and the certainty. It's almost like we have to dive into the lake to pull Excalibur out. We're not waiting for the Lady of the Lake to give it to us. No, you got to dive down and get it yourself. But then once you do, it really is magic, right? It really is going to bring us the kind of clarity and certainty and the ability, even. The sword gives us the ability to kind of cut our way through the jungle, right? To cut down any obstacle, right? To fight our way or reason our way or however you want to do it. To figure our way through every obstacle, every situation, every feeling, right? We're able to really understand the purpose of everything, understand the meaning of everything. And it's kind of this, it's a very spiritual sword, yeah. And I think it really brings us a kind of connection with spirit, kind of connection with consciousness, with awareness, and we're able to continue on with our path. Now we've got the art or temperance card in the position of the environment. There's a connection with food here. I don't know what the connection is, if you're in food service, or if there is that younger energy that has passed, if they were in food service. And I don't know, maybe this person hasn't passed. Maybe we are actually dropping this person off at college, or maybe they went off to culinary school or something, and now we're kind of feeling this loss, without them here. But there is something to do with that kind of energy. Now, it may not be cooking exactly, but it's something that has to do with putting the right. I mean, it could be a chemist, right? It could be an alchemist, really. It's finding the right mixture of things that I think is, is part of the environment or part of the situation of some sort of a vocation, in a way, right? What this card is also kind of talking about is this idea of the contradictory methods, right? That we're using all of this water energy in order to activate the fire. That the way that you get out of the lake is by going deeper into it. That doesn't make any sense, right? That's counterintuitive. Well, so is the art or temperance card. It's counterintuitive. I'm just using my gut here. I'm using, and I don't really like the word counterintuitive. It may not be logical, but that doesn't mean it's counterintuitive, right? Because I think that it would be the intuition, it would be this kind of gut feeling that just says, or represented in my dream by that mother figure, that just says you've got to go all the way down in the water in order to get out. It's not logical, but I think it is intuitive. And so that's what this card is. It may not make sense why you need, 2 parts this, 1 part this, but somehow it works, right? And so I feel like this is kind of the way that we are, we're using what is, in any other reading, 8 of Cups, 7 and 8 of Cups seems like this is a bad situation, it's getting worse. Well, we're using that as motivation in a way, okay? Using that as motivation in a way. And now Spirit's telling me to mention the person with the bad hip. I don't know if there was a replacement or if there was, if there's been an injury or a fall or something, but somebody's got a hip that needs looking after. Okay. Anyway, your power card is next. Sometimes these details come in just to validate some of the energy that we're in and to confirm some things and offer some synchronicities for some of you out there. Okay. Power card next. The star card in the difficult position. And this is really us realizing that we have to stay harmonized with our star, right? That we have to stay connected with that starlight. That is our lodestar. That is our guiding light in life. And you feel, Aquarius, that it's your duty to be the channel, to be the conduit of that spiritual energy that you are connecting with, right? And I think really it's that sword that gives us that connection, that it's kind of like now our mind, this, to me, the Ace of Swords looks like an antenna, right? Like out in space, it's just like this antenna receiving this divine energy. And I feel like that is really, well, it's, in some ways, it's this solar energy too, that's kind of connecting, through the antenna there. And, I feel like this is giving you this certainty and there's no doubt. There's an absence of doubt, an absence of confusion, right? And I think that's, in a lot of ways, that's what the sword does, is that it clears the way. It clears out everything that we do not need, that we do not believe, that we do not want, the things that are not going into the soup, so to speak here, right? And so we can have this clear channel of this spiritual energy. A very, very clear, conductive, channel that's very well insulated. Yeah. And even with the Queen of Swords at the end here, there is a lot of emotional clarity. But back to the star, though, for a second. This is really the way that you can take your astrological chart. And again, I think some of you are very much focused on astrology, that you follow astrology, you study it. Maybe you have your birth chart and you're really working to understand it. This is the way, I think, that we, with the sword and this clarity, that we're learning what elements of our birth chart are important. There's a certain thread that runs through it. It's kind of like this master key. We're trying to find this thread. And I think the sword and the clarity really is allowing us to disregard what is superfluous, disregard what is there, but it's minor. It's not really affecting that thread so much. I mean, a little bit. Everything is connected, right? But we're trying to follow this kind of weaving thread through our soul, through our life, through our being. And I think that in an astrological chart, there is so much going on, right? Even charts seem simple. It's not. There are so many aspects and relationships and rulerships and, domiciles and all these. I mean, it's a very complicated science, right? And so I think it's very easy to get sidetracked with something that may seem important, but it's kind of off the main trail. And I think that you're really doing what you can to stay on a particular trail and learn to be discerning, to say, yeah, that's cool and interesting and it's important, but it's not this main thread that we're on. Okay. So I feel like the obstacle for you is really to stay as pure and as clear a channel or a conduit as you can, as you follow this thread of destiny or fate or whatever you want to call it, this divine energy, and you manifest that through your life, right? And with the Queen of Swords at the end, this is really the clarity and the certainty in a very practical way. Now we're talking all that mystical stuff, all the hocus pocus stuff, right? But this is very practical. This is understanding and seeing from a bird's eye view, seeing the situation we're in. It's like we're leaving our body. It's like we're in our car and we get stuck in the mud and we think, oh man, I'm stuck in the mud. I can't move my car. You're feeling a certain way about it, right? I mean, I've been there. It's not fun. This card we leave our body and we're able to look at this situation from above, see it in perspective. The higher we get, the smaller that car looks. And we think, it's not a big deal, right? But then when we land again, when we return to our body, it's the biggest thing that's ever happened to us. Especially if it's the separation from a loved one or the loss of a loved one. It's the most important thing that's going on in the world right now, But we need to be able to have this higher perspective so that we can see kind of where this car, where this incident, where this feeling fits into our bigger picture, where it fits into the universe, right? It's like you got a toothache. The toothache is the biggest, most terrible thing that's ever happened in the world right now. It's an aching, throbbing, terrible toothache. Everybody should be concerned about this toothache. But really outside of your own soul, your own mouth, nobody really notices. It's not really affecting anybody else except when we kind of, lament and complain and yell about it. Toothaches are not fun. So it's about perspective, and we can have both of these feelings in mind at the same time. And that's why we've got all these swords and we've got the art or temperance card. We know that this toothache, this car, this incident, this thing, this feeling that we have is the absolute most important thing that has ever happened or could ever be happening in the world right now. It is the end all and be all of existence. At the same time, it is absolutely meaningless, right? We can believe both of these things. Sometimes we need to believe one more than the other so we can get things done. You need to believe that the toothache is the end-all and be-all of existence, so you'll go take care of it. But you also need to realize that it's absolutely unimportant and meaningless so that you can actually get dressed and get in your car and drive to the dentist to get it fixed, right? Let's look at the mystery card. I feel like I'm starting to preach again. All right, mystery card. I want to obviously see some good water energy, or I want to see the earth start to really kind of get moving. I want a 6 either of cups or a 6 of pentacles. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Okay. Let's see what we have. Oh, a 9 of pentacles. Well, even better than a 6, right? This is a foundational. This is saying that we're making progress toward our best life, and it's something that is solid. We're reaching solid ground, and it's almost like, yeah, you might be stuck in the mud in your car, but you're on your own property. So it's kind of like it gives you this sense of the larger kind of picture, right? And I think that, this is really beautiful. You are living your best life, and this is what we are. This is what we're here to do, is to strive for this kind of experience, to have our pets, our plants, our people, right? To be where we belong, to be where we are needed, to go through what we're meant to go through. And even the little snail that's down there is saying, let's slow down. Sometimes we get stuck. Sometimes the car breaks down. Sometimes we get the toothache, right? Let's adapt and let's deal with it. It's all part of this grand experience that we're in. Not to minimize pain, not to minimize suffering. I'm not trying to minimize grief. We need to honor our feelings and honor our grief, right? We need to try to turn it into. We need to see how it fits into the bigger picture, okay? And we need to use it as much as we can as inspiration to continue this life and this work. Okay? Because you're not alone. You're not alone here. Your people are around there somewhere, right? You've got all of this support, all of this abundance, all of this nurturing around you. And the snail is saying, slow down and let the universe take care of you a little bit. Let your people take care of you. Let your life take care of you. Right? You've got this massive toothache, and you got to kind of rush to the dentist, but you want to drive carefully for one thing. But also, maybe you can get some over-the-counter stuff to pack in there on your way to the dentist. And so I think that there's a lot around you that's available to you. And I feel like we need to be able to open ourselves up to some of that. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link that's either up here or down below in the video description. New Aquarius readings Thursdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. Chicago time. It's going to be 8 a.m. for some of you. But I'm here every day, 6 a.m., so just come on back, see me tomorrow. Okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.